Okay, hi and welcome. Welcome to what I've decided to call Sometimes Knitting. And I've chose that because I'm sometimes knitting, sometimes not, mostly not. My name is Victoria, by the way. If you're not one of my family members watching this, I have a 13-month-old daughter. We live in Minneapolis. And so, yeah, I'm all the time doing things that are not knitting, you know, as you do. But I wanted to do something to kind of document what I enjoy, what I'm working on, and also document other creative things that I embark on. I have in my mind some ideas for sewing patterns that I really want to do, and I wanted just a place to talk about it and hopefully share with people that care, and because I've really enjoyed listening to other people talk about things, and I've gotten a lot of inspiration from that. So yeah, here we are. This is the first time I'm doing something like this, and so I'm deciding to take it in little chunks. Today I'd love to talk about like finished things that I've done, which has been a grand total of, now I have to count in my head, four finished things. And I have 2 works in progress right now. But I have a lot of things that I am planning for. Oh, hey, don't bite me. Don't know if you can see my cat sitting right here. But I have a lot of things that I'm hoping to do and I'm planning for and I have yarn for. So let's get started. Let's talk about things. I can't remember what month of this year I started knitting. Classic. But since then I've made 3 baby bonnets and 1 scarf. It is obviously July right now, so my baby nor the babies I made those other bonnets for are wearing them. So all of those things I made a little bit bigger than they were in that moment. And I made the scarf, you know, adult sized. So let's start with the bonnets. I only have 1 of them because I've only made 1 for my daughter. Here it is. Hopefully you can see it well in this light. It is not based on a pattern that you can find on Ravelry. My friend that got me into knitting helped me draft it. And it's basically just a square with the pattern and then joined in the back with Kitchener stitch, which this is just plain stockinette Kitchener stitch. I was gonna try my hardest, I don't know if I can go closer. I was gonna try my hardest to learn how to do Kitchener stitch in pattern, but if you can see, this would be the worst pattern to learn that on. So I just did plain, and I'm very glad that I did that. I can't remember what kind of cast on this was, but we have 1x1 rib and then like a little bit of garter edging. This was knit in the Undine, or no, Ritual Dyes Undine DK. Can't remember what color, maybe like slate or something. And this is cotton linen blend, so good for like spring or fall, with some I-cord ties. But touching it now, I kind of don't like how this fabric feels. And maybe I just need to give it a wash again. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling like I should have made it in a wool, like a merino, something softer, because, well, I was just taking this as an opportunity to learn some basics, learn the basics, and try it out. And yeah, it if you know of a way to soften up linen cotton blends, let me know, because I would really like this to be softer by the time autumn comes around and she's able to wear it more. But you know, I don't know if she'll actually wear it, because every time I put a hat on her head, she's taking it off. So that's up in the air too. Anyways, that is the one bonnet that I have. The other two bonnets that I have, one is with my friend in Alaska, one's with my friend in Minneapolis. Both of them are knitted in cotton linen. One was with the rest of this hank of ritual dyes. It was just a plain, you know, stockinette garter. I think I made it in like a way that you could reverse it. But I made it a little bit more rectangular, so it'd go down his head a little bit more, which I like the look of that better than I like the look of this. This has no shaping at the back and it's just a square. So his bonnet was a little bit longer, more rectangular, so it felt like it could close around the chin a bit better. And another thing that I'm doing this for is because I'm really bad at taking pictures. So this is a good way to document my knitting. And then I gave another bonnet to my friend who had a baby girl, smaller than both of the other ones. I think she'll be able to wear it this fall. It's like, it's knit in Knit Picks cotton linen sprout color. Cotton linen sprout color. Which is this bright green, and the little baby's like a red head, so it's very cute. I tried out a sand stitch for that. I think I can overlay a picture of what a sand stitch looks like. But that was very fun. I think I'm gonna use bonnets as an excuse or like way to try new stitches, new techniques and things. And on that bonnet, I did an Italian tubular cast on, which is great. And then an extended applied I-cord edge, which was great again. No pictures. Maybe I'll get her to send me one and I'll put it over the top of this. But there we are. And then my other finished project is this double-sided scarf. It is the Folk Flower Scarf pattern by Caledonia Dreamin'. Triangular scarf bandana situation. I really enjoyed knitting this. I really enjoyed learning double knitting and some kind of color work situation, which is great. Yeah, I love the pattern. The size of it, I honestly wish it was bigger, because I like a bigger scarf. This, whenever you tie it around, it kind of like, if you tie it around with the big flower motif in the back, you can't really see anything that's going on, really. You can do it with the big flower motif in the front, which is not really my style. But what is my style, a little whimsy, is just using it as a small little hood in the winter. You cover your hair as you're going out if you don't want to use or if your jacket doesn't have a hood or you don't want to use it. Yeah, I like the look of this. I don't know if my hair is looking crazy right now, but I think in the winter I'm going to be using this a lot like this because it's just a little whimsical. Enjoy that. Yeah. It has like 16 mistakes. Not going to point them out to you, but I can see them, and I kept track of them, obviously. This is knit in the Willow and Lark Poetry, which is fine merino, camel hair, and acrylic microfiber, which, bummer, should have read that a little bit better before I bought it. But I like the feel of it generally. It has a little bit of a halo, which is nice. Don't know if you can see it. But yeah, the two colors I used were garnet and sand. And I had a little bit more, so I'm trying to figure out what to do. If I could, I don't know. I feel like these colors, if I were to do a stripe, it'd look a little, I don't know, Christmassy in a baby bonnet. Let me know if you have any ideas for baby knits. I would have to use both colors because I don't have enough of just one of them. But yeah, anyways, those are my finished products. On to the works in progress. This one is about to be a finished product, probably like in the next 2 days. But this is another baby bonnet. I'm just gonna, whoa, why did I do that? I'm just gonna transfer these stitches over real quick. So I don't have to wield this big toothpick. Yeah, so we have a light blue baby bonnet. I'm working currently on the extended I-cord edge to make the ties of the bonnet and then the edging. Yeah, so it has these fun ridges, which I really like. You can see these are different because I messed up and I didn't want to work backwards. That's one of my weaknesses. I don't like working backwards. But yeah, I like the ribbing that I did on the edge. Don't know if you can see it there. This is a nice sport weight alpaca from Tree Frog. I got it from someone like stash busting. She had one skein and I was like, ah, cool, $3. I'll take that and make a little blue alpaca bonnet. I blocked it once because I wanted to see if the measurements would fit my friend in Alaska's little boy. I don't think they will. Sorry, Sierra. Sorry to have to find out like this that it's not gonna fit Liam. So this currently does not have an intended baby, but I don't know, might go on my baby for the winter. Alpaca is warm. We live in Minnesota. We need something warm. I've made so many things that are blue, and blue is not like my favorite color. So I don't know why I keep making things that are blue, but here we are, almost done. I just have to finish the seam in the back. Don't ask me why it's partially seamed. Too long of a story. But my first time knitting with alpaca, I like it. I washed it with kookaburra wool wash and when I was blocking it, and so literally every time I want to smell it, it smells so good. I love kookaburra. I love the smell of it. It's so good. But yeah, gonna be done with this soon. And then my other work in progress is in my little project bag. This is from Hope and Plum. Love them. My other project in progress is a nympheas cardigan by, I'm not gonna pronounce this the French way, but tricot meringue, tricot meringue, which is just a stockinette cardigan. I am knitting in this really nice green color from Knit Picks in their cotton. It's called Lichen. Love this color. I can imagine it going so well with a few things that I already have, and it was on sale, so sweet. Yeah, this is a DK. The intended weight of the cardigan pattern is sport. I was flip-flopping on whether or not to do it in this, and I was like, man, I'll just knit a small and it'll be a little bit bigger, and I want it to be a little bit bigger, and with cardigans I feel like it's not that big of a deal. I don't know, we'll see. So I've just cast this on. I'm at a point with the German short row shaping for the back that I did not understand, but I got some advice from some knitting friends, and they have told me what to do. And so I feel confident now. But I really love this color. And yeah, so the only thing I've made with wool has been the sweater, or not the scarf. And everything else has been cotton linen. Or I also am making the alpaca bonnet. But I've chosen that because those have been cheaper options, and like when I was starting to get into this, I didn't know if I was going to really get into it. And I just really like that color of the cotton. So I know in the future I'm gonna be purchasing some nicer wool yarns for sweaters, especially living in Minnesota. But it probably won't be this year. And that's okay. I have a lot of ideas and inspiration on Ravelry of what I would like to do in the future. So it's totally possible. Yeah, and that is currently where I'm at with my projects. I have a lot of hopes for kids projects. I have some yarn for a t-shirt that I want to knit. I know when people get into knitting at first, I feel like usually when people get into knitting at first, it's like the winter stuff. Let's do stuff for winter. But it just feels like a really big commitment to me. I really want to knit winter warm wool sweaters, but you gotta start somewhere. So I'm starting here. I also really want to be the person that knits baby bonnets and gives them to people that have babies in my life, which is a lot of people, because I feel like babies in pixie bonnets is what the world needs. We need more whimsy. We need more little baby gnomes. Like, I need to get some red yarn and make some pointy red gnome hats, like this fellow here. Isn't he just the best? We need babies with pointy red gnome hats. So, yeah, that is my goal with knitting, to be creative and to learn and to share whimsy with other people. Because my daughter looks so stinking cute in a pointy bonnet. I wish she would let me put them on her these days, but she doesn't, and that's okay. But I think everyone's child would look so cute in a pointy bonnet. Maybe I'm wrong. You tell me. You tell me. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's where I'm at with knitting. I hope to talk about things like patterns that I have that I really want to knit, and ask for people's input on if they've knitted them before, if they like other ones, if they really liked that pattern. Talk about, I've had things floating around in my mind of like, if I was a knitwear designer, this is what I would design. Just things kind of like that. And also, maybe this will kick me into gear to really go for that cardigan and just knit it so fast. Probably not. Also, I'm doing this while my daughter sleeps. So, I'm squeezing in knitting wherever I can. It's not going to be a lot. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. You're probably more than okay with that. Okay, well, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Have a good one.